Hey, this is the continuation of that video that accidentally got cut off. Sorry about that, guys. This happened earlier today, and I went ahead and posted that first part. Just a brief reminder that I'm only expressing my opinions, and any Adelson that I mention in these videos, they are either convicted and in prison for life, or they are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Now, there's a really loud rainstorm right now. I've got my dog shivering right next to me, and I got the volume up, so I hope you can hear this, or I'm going to have to redo it. But anyway, we're going to continue watching some of this case. If you're bored with this case, just fast forward 5 or 10 minutes and you can get to the part where I'm telling you how this, I thought, gave me a little more insight into Harvey and Donna Adelson. This is a man and a woman. The man was driving his golf cart on a public roadway, which is illegal. The officer saw him. He was 3 or 4 cars back, and by the time he could catch up to him to pull him over, the man had turned into the gated community where he lives and went home. The officer followed him in there, parked at the end of his driveway, and asked for ID, which was perfectly legal. It is mandatory at a traffic stop to provide your identification. So the man refuses to give ID. He's really belligerent. He's saying, he and his wife are both saying, you cannot come after me if you didn't pull me over where the violation occurred. You have to pull a person over at the time. That is not true. Okay. They demand that he calls a supervisor. That's another tactic that's often used by Karens in traffic stops. He then goes on the offensive and tells the officer to move his vehicle. You're on public property. Okay, that's what's going to go on here, and I'm going to briefly pause this, hopefully, when I get to the part about how the officer has parked his car. Okay.
Melly?
I don't know, sir.
Okay, I need his license, or he's at risk of interfering with a law enforcement investigation. Does he want to get arrested for...
What
Call the
investigation, sir?
supervisor. Call the supervisor.
Okay, I will.
Well, I don't know why I'm
And please move your vehicle out of
Call, sir.
Okay, the man is demanding that he move his police car. If you notice, this is protocol. If you can, you park so that you block a vehicle from possibly trying to escape or, evade law enforcement. Also, you might notice cop cars are parked on a slight angle. This is tactical. This is very correct and important. In case there's any gunfire in a traffic stop, the officer has to retreat to his vehicle, open the door. He is going to be partially blocked by the engine. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with the way he parked. He's got his lights going, and I think that maybe is causing this guy some embarrassment in his own community. But of course, it's all getting escalated because of how belligerent and entitled he is. Okay, let's continue this.
Agent Garcia.
vehicle by your call.
Hey, do you want to come 51 out to me? Now I'm inside the gated community, but he was driving on the public road, right? He's refusing to give me his license.
Okay, you'll refuse.
All right, you're heading out here?
My property.
Okay, now he has called his sergeant, which this guy requested or demanded. Now, let me tell you about calling a supervisor in, or they call him a white shirt, or the sergeant or lieutenant. In most cases, this is legal. A person being pulled over can request talking to a supervisor. But supervisors do not sit in the police department and twiddle their thumbs and wait until they're called out to the scene of a problem going on. They have a lot of responsibilities and things they need to do. If they get called out and it's something that's important or understandable, but not because a guy is refusing to show his ID, that's just ridiculous. So when the sergeant shows up, you'll see what happens. Okay, now, the other thing, I'm going to play now another little section. Before I do, I just want to say, when you have a difference of opinion about a traffic stop, you don't litigate it on the side of the road or in your driveway. That's what court is for. You don't demand to see the body cam footage, blah, blah, blah. You go to court, and then you can bring all this up with a judge, and sometimes judges will rule in your favor, too. Okay, let's see, what's next? Okay, let me just advance this to 220. Okay, here we go.
In this neighborhood, I'm in.
Not on public roadways.
This is not public, sir.
You were on the public roadway.
Okay, do you have proof of that?
Yes, I do.
May I see it?
It's on the body camera.
Perfect. Okay.
I can give it to you after you give me your driver's
I'm
license.
not giving you my driver's license.
Okay.
Why he don't stop to pick that up?
That's what I want to know if he says I was on the road.
There are other cars on the road.
Oh.
One
Also,
second.
if you don't stop at the right moment, it's not counted.
That's not how that works. A traffic.
Okay, these two people have an incorrect idea of what the law is. For example, he's saying you can't come onto private property. Not true. They're saying the officer has to make the traffic stop where the violation occurred. Not true. They're also saying that they don't have to show their ID. Not true. Let's talk about that. In Rodriguez versus the United States in Supreme Court, they firmly established that officers can check driver's licenses and they can determine if there are any outstanding warrants, and they can inspect the registration and proof of insurance. Now, it's absolutely mandatory that a driver shows their ID during any lawful traffic stop. One other case that's sometimes referred to is Terry versus Ohio. This says an officer has to have reasonable, articulable suspicion that a crime has occurred before they can make a stop, and they are allowed to temporarily seize a vehicle and occupants and get ID. So these people do not know the law. They don't know diddly squat. They remind me of Charlie at Dolce Vita talking to McBenoit and telling her all about how officers can't touch you if you're not in the vehicle at the scene of the crime, even if your DNA's in the car, that doesn't prove you were there, blah, 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 blah. He's saying all this stuff really emphatically like he's, I don't know, a police officer or a lawyer. Doesn't know what he's talking about. In fact, during his trial at one point, Georgia kind of snidely said to him, do you still believe that you can't, like, blah, 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 whatever the actual issue was? Okay, let's see. Okay, that is... Okay, let me turn my page here and advance this to, let's see, 348. Okay. Okay, in this part, you're going to hear the female very belligerently say, I'm not afraid of you. And another very common thing in Karens being stopped is they don't listen because they know it all. And they argue and they laugh at the police officer because they know better. Who does that remind you of? Donna, at her own arrest, said, oh, here we go again. Okay, let me go ahead and play this part.
My property.
This is HOA property.
My driveway.
This community is HOA property.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
The whole driveway is mine.
HOA property.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's mine.
Okay, this is HOA property.
Okay, so you're saying that this is not my property, right?
This right here is HOA property. Where you committed a traffic offense is public roadway.
Blocking my property.
This one is in this property. This is our property.
Okay, if you guys want to turn this into something more.
Look at that, sir.
Turn it into anything.
Okay,
Nobody.
okay,
You have to do the right thing.
okay,
The moment. You don't do it?
okay,
Sorry.
okay.
You do that.
I know. You saw everything from inside the house, right?
Sir, I am not afraid for you. I'm here. And I'm telling you that if you don't do the things when you have to do that in the moment that you have to do, why you don't stop him in that part?
Oh, you studied criminal justice?
Huh?
You're a police officer?
Well, that is not your business. If I know, if I not, that is not your business.
Okay.
Okay? That is that I'm telling you.
Okay. I mean, you're trying to tell me how my job works now.
But you don't do that.
Okay.
You do that?
I don't know what you're saying.
No, you know what I'm saying.
No, I don't.
You know what I'm saying.
No, because
You are
a
not
traffic infraction, you can make a traffic stop.
all the thing, but if you don't do that at the right moment.
You see that? She won't listen. She simply won't listen. He's trying to explain it to her. Okay, what's next? Oh, okay, I want you to notice how They have this magical thinking. They think they're untouchable. And who does that remind you of? All right, let me advance it to 550. There we go.
Perfect.
Okay.
I'm gonna do that.
And then I'll
stop the
provide.
vehicle.
I'm
You don't stop the vehicle. You don't stop. If you don't ask for the driver's license, you don't do the things that a police officer have to do.
I asked for his driver's license. You were inside.
And I'm on private property. You can't ask.
That's not how that
I have
works.
to give you that.
No,
I haven't.
Just because you come to your house doesn't mean it's safe zone.
I didn't say anything about safe zone. I'm in private property. Sir.
Okay.
I am on private.
Okay, you can have.
So you see what I mean? It's like magical thinking. It's like they're playing a game of tag. Ollie in for they're on home base. They're free. They can't be touched now. Okay. Okay, now I'm not going to show this part just in the trying to conserve on time, but what happens next is an officer who's in the area heard this call go out, and he's nearby, and he's training. He has a trainee with him, so he's thinking, oh, okay, this will be interesting. I'll pull in with my trainee. So he gets there, and he goes up to this man, and he reiterates, you cannot drive a golf cart on a public roadway. And he, of course, it gets argued with also, and then he simply tells the guy, the sergeant is on his way. Okay, so now, let's see. Okay, let me turn my page here, my notes. Okay, now I'm going to play a little bit of it that's going to show you how entitled these people are that they actually start laughing at the cops. Who does that remind you of? And then the sergeant arrives. I'm just going to go ahead and play this through, so let me just tell you a little bit about that scene. A lot of times when a sergeant shows up, they're going to be kind of trying to placate the person, de-escalate. They'll just listen to him rant on and on and on. A lot of times they're just killing time to let the officer have the time to be writing up his report or his citation or arrest report or whatever. But not in this case. This sergeant comes in hot. He has been called here for a ridiculous reason, and he's not going to play any games with them. He's going to give this guy a choice. If he farts around one more time, he's under arrest. As soon as that happens, you will see the woman come forward saying, no, 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 and she puts hands on the officer. Guys, that's a huge no-no. So in the end, they both get arrested. So let's go ahead and play this.
This argument with the sergeant.
Okay.
With the judge and everybody.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so that's fine. So we'll take it to court.
You hear her laughing.
How you doing, boss?
Okay, that's the guy with the trainee showing up. I actually forgot to advance it. We want to go to 805. Okay, here we go.
A lot of people call it City Hall 1. You can't be on the roadways.
I am agree with you, but do it in the moment that you have to do it. You don't have to wait. You don't have to do this. We respect the law enforcement.
Absolutely.
But it's the thing when you have to do that. If you told me I am broken the law outside, you have to pull me over and right away in that one.
That's like telling me, okay, I mean, somebody pull up to your house and say, oh, you broke the speed limit on the highway. Well, we're at my house. What are you talking about? You know, I mean, come on.
Yeah, laughing. Oh, that's so funny.
I'm his supervisor, so I'm gonna make one request.
Okay.
Okay. Pulling into your driveway doesn't negate the stop. I'm gonna give you the option right now because what's gonna happen if you don't provide the identification, we're gonna have to arrest you. We don't want to arrest you.
You're arrested?
Yes.
Okay,
So
for
would you
what law?
prefer to present the identification or not?
Sorry, I have a question. No. I have a question.
I'm not fighting you. I'm not fighting.
You're not fighting.
Stop. Move away.
Don't say anything without your lawyer, and they don't have any
So you're
permission what to do.
so if I give you my driver's license,
Oh, hey, Pepper. Pepper's very afraid because we got thunder here. Okay, so did you notice the female, after they're both now being arrested, says to her husband, don't say anything without a lawyer. Who does that remind you of? Somebody like ordering the others around and being the coordinator, right? Harvey, call a Uber to get home. Like, she has to tell everybody. Oh, she probably has to remind them when they poop that they need to wipe. It's just, so, okay. Now, let me just go ahead and explain the rest of this video so we don't really need to see any more. Okay, they both get arrested. Do you remember Charlie talking really, really rudely and crudely and mean-spiritedly to a very professional female jail officer? And all of a sudden, when the lieutenant comes down, his demeanor like changes. Well, let me tell you something about this guy. When the cuffs go on, their demeanor changes. And all of a sudden, he's like, I just wanted to ask a question. I didn't provide my ID. I just wanted to know, was that legal? And he's trying to act really calm and like, this is just logical. And he was not like that. He was so belligerent. He was like, the officer wants his ID. Well, you're not going to get it. Like, oh, you guys just saw this for yourself. It was ridiculous. But now the tide has turned, and this guy all of a sudden is trying to be so nice and logical and calm. The officer who originally made the stop is taking him to his car to put him in the car. The officer who was the trainee who came by, he's going to take the female and put her in his car, and they're both going to jail. One more thing, when this guy actually gets up to the car, looks at the officer, and actually pulls the bro code, one man to another. Come on, I got kids. It kind of made me laugh. Anyway, okay, so how does this apply to the Adelsons and what I think? People who have an incorrect understanding of the law, they might reinforce each other's misunderstanding in a family or in a couple, and this really emboldens them one to the other, and then it escalates, and they reinforce each other's being untouchable, that delusion, and people just get carried away. This wasn't just Harvey and Donna. This was Charlie too. If you remember Jeff Lacasse saying the Adelsons actually made it a hobby out of hating Dan, and that escalated. That hatred just escalated. So that's what I think we see in this very entitled couple, and how that can sometimes become really out of control. So anyway, thank you for watching this. And I just have a little bit of chit chat before I sign off. I wanted to tell you guys some exciting news. I'm going to be interviewed by Netflix next week. So I'm like really excited about that, although I'm pretty sure they are just going to want to hear about I worked for Harvey, the kids crashed my wedding. When I would really like to also talk about the corruption that was involved in this case. Let me see if I can turn my camera around without, I don't know. Okay, we'll try it. Hopefully I didn't hit the stop button. I want to talk about the corruption in this case. I don't know, and oh my gosh, our power just went out. It's because of this really bad storm. Oh, it might be really dark. Guys, I'm just going to go ahead and finish this up. If I'm in the dark, I apologize. I want to just briefly mention the corruption in the Adelson case. Okay, in my opinion, allegedly, the first thing would involve Willie Megg's interference in proceeding to investigate the Adelsons. After that, there was an attorney who spread a false rumor that could have been so damaging to the case that Jack Campbell actually had to have a press conference to correct the record. Okay, now let's talk about another thing, and that would be Dan Rashbaum's conflict of interest. I know everybody thinks this conflict of interest was when he tried to represent Donna after representing Charlie. No, that's not what I think. Dan Rashbaum was Donna and Harvey's attorney for years. Just because he agrees to take on the murder trial for Charlie doesn't mean he no longer also represents the Adelsons, and it's his obligation to also protect them. Therefore, he never had Donna take the stand to corroborate Charlie's ridiculous story. He pretty much didn't have any character witnesses for Charlie if it seemed like he was really just trying to protect Donna and Harvey and Wendy. That's because I think he was, allegedly. This is my opinion. In fact, I think Charlie has a right to get a second trial. I do. I don't think he has any chance in heck of winning that trial. But you know what this could give us an opportunity for? If he has a lawyer at that point who's worth his salt and not just wanting to fill his deep pockets, he'll tell Charlie the truth and he'll say, you need to settle. You need to go for a plea deal. And in that case, maybe he'd give up Wendy. If he wants to see his son again, I don't know if he could get 20 years or 25 instead of life without parole, but to me, that corruption was so bad. If Charlie does get a second trial because of that, I really think Rashbaum should have to reimburse the court for all the court case wasted because he agreed to represent Charlie. That was, in my opinion, clearly unethical. Okay, and anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna get interviewed. I'm really excited about it. Afterwards, I'll tell you guys about it. Okay. Also, last thing I want to say, a huge congratulations to Judy Zen of Asian American Legal Focus. She is celebrating 20 years of a successful law career. She's also either has reached or is about to reach 6 years on YouTube, which when she reached 5 years, I was so impressed and proud and happy for her. I wanted to make as a gift a video about ice skating for her. I never got that made. Now that I know about pausing, some of my techniques of this weird, lame way I make my videos, I think I can actually make it now. So I'm going to try to make that video next, and better late than never. Sorry, Judy. So that's it. That is it. I'm going to sign off, and hope you guys are all doing great. And I have a lot of notes on the Adelson. That's why I have labeled this part 1 of 10, I think my other video was, because I'm going to keep sharing other thoughts I've had about this case. So that's it. Everybody, take care.